away, and then they grabbed me and slammed me on the ground. Um, I'm not sure how many people were on top of me, but after that, they took me away with a few other people.
I would re-jog my memory around 6th in Congress, I think.
That's right.
So talk to me about, I guess, what was leading up towards that point.
Yeah, we were protesting for the murder of Renee Good in Minneapolis. We think it's pretty abhorrent that nothing is going on happening. We're demanding that Jonathan Ross, the person who murdered Renee Good, get sent to jail for the murder of Renee Good. I think that they should be treated with the same impunity, with the same way that they treat all of us, where they arrest us for no reason, like they did me, like they did the other.
So I guess in terms of how law enforcement was communicating with you guys prior to you getting detained, were you saying anything to them? Were they saying anything to you? Talk to me about those interactions prior to you getting detained.
Yeah, we were laying out our demands. We were letting them know that the people of Austin aren't going to stand for Renee Good being murdered, for Keith Porter being murdered earlier this year, for Silverio Gallego being murdered last year. And we're demanding that ICE get out of Texas, that APD and DPS stop working with ICE. They said that they weren't going to, and then all we hear are reports of DPS stopping people at traffic stops and having ICE.
Another person.
Let's get your holiday. Oh my
More people are getting released.
Was she detained around the same time as you?
She got detained after.
Yeah. We have food, water, medic, anything you want. You're sick.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. You can come back.
Three people have been released so far. What the misdemeanors of your voice? Misdemeanors of freedom of expression. I don't believe the news will properly cover the constitutional rights of the citizens and the abhorrent crimes.
The news needs to say the truth.
Okay. Thank you. You're actually helping on the package of like a lot of. Okay. We also have water and chill with that. And I'm
sorry. Huh?
You guys are going? I was talking. I was just talking about.
That's okay.
Okay, you're like, why am I so light?
Do we want to move a little more? Let's move a little this side. You guys want to come over here so I can sit?
I'm just gonna stay near the camera.
Can you fix the mic? Have the cord, please, for me. Put it on the other side or something, but
Okay.
Is that better? Well, we just we're gonna be looking safety for it. Well, you just saw one of your friends that just get was there one more before you lost? Were you the first one?
I think that was the first one.
She was the second one. Yeah. Yeah. So what is your reaction?
I'm really glad that she got released. I was surprised to see her also be arrested. Yeah, I mean, we were protesting, we were exercising our First Amendment rights. They really had no reason to jump on us the way that they did. They didn't give us any directives before jumping on us. And it was like, yeah, quite a surprise whenever we could finally get it.
And then I think the question I was asking before she came was like, Congress, you said it was? Yeah. Were you guys like in the street during that time? I know there was a lot of people were talking about traffic, how protesters were blocking it. Were you in that area?
Yeah, we were on the intersection of 6th and Congress. Protests are supposed to be disruptive. Historically, the only reasons why protests work is because normal life, quote unquote, gets shut down for a period, and the injustices of living in this kind of system gets really blown up, and people's energy, people's anger, people's frustration get shouted. And so, yeah, we were in the middle. We were in that intersection, doing what.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I mean, right? Yeah, you said it too. Being disruptive, can you speak a little bit more towards that? Why do you think that is the
Because that's the way that things actually change. Not being disruptive, standing on the sidelines. What protest in the history of protesting has that actually made any difference whatsoever? It's been a co-optation of protests where people in organizations that are a little more cozy to the state give people like the way to quote unquote the way to protest is to stay on the sidelines and like shout at an empty building when that has never changed anything and that will never change anything. You can see it in the way that like whenever Black Lives Matter protests back in 2020 blew up, it began to be co-opted by the Democratic Party and by other organizations to the point where it became to the point where the fire died out, and to this day, nothing has changed. In fact, every year since 2020, there's been more murders by cops.
Why do you think instead of like I guess staying on the sideline, you know, a lot of law enforcement like you're out the entire night, get on the sideline. I mean, why not stay on the sideline and have a bigger cause? Why go?
Because staying on the sidewalk isn't gonna put a pause on normal life that people should experience. It also removes people's like ability to exist in the city and like protest. It shackles their First Amendment rights by being able to protest. When you're just on the sidewalk and you're parading around signs and you're shouting your cause, it's practically like a reverse parade where the cars going by are the ones spectating and the ones on the sidewalk are the ones putting on the show. It's not. It's the way we've seen it is it's been mostly for media, and any of those protests have not actually led to a genuine change. The protests that we look for inspiration are those that have been disruptive, like the bus boycott back in the 60s. Like the large hunger marches during the 20s, where people would march for many miles. That actually was the beginning of the welfare program and food stamps. The way that they got it is by disrupting normal life and having these politicians know that these politicians, these cops know that they can't just continue doing this shit, and we're just gonna continue listening to them and like giving them a that they don't deserve.
After you got detained, did law enforcement tell you why you got detained?
No, I had to ask. They never told me. They never told anyone else why we were being detained. The only reason that we knew while we were going in is because we were asking what we were being charged with. So they never offered that information.
They didn't tell you what you were charged, or were you charged with anything, or did you guys just?
We have been charged. They've all been just.
Did they say what kind of?
uh, like being in a public roadway. I forget the exact term.
Anything else you think is important to add involved around yesterday's series
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
my bad. I just burped. Yeah, yesterday's show was Austin starting to gear up to genuinely say to fight back against like ICE, who have been roaming these streets, have been picking people up, working in collaboration with DPS and APD in order to pick people up at traffic stops. That they've done so by like illegally discriminating against people. They look a certain way, they'll get stopped, and then they get ICE called on them, even if or not they are a citizen. Yesterday was Austin feeling like that can't stand, and a demonstration that that we want this to stop, and we're demanding it to stop in this city and across the nation. I'm with an organization called Dare to Struggle, and we are a national organization. We stage protests against the murder of Renee Good across the U.S. And each one of these protests has been met with brutality, with several people being taken, arrested, with their face bleeding, people being shot within two feet of the officer with a pepper bullet straight into their face. This brutal repression is something that we will not stand for, and we won't fight these charges. Um,
That's all I have for you.
all right.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
And I'll take that back.
That's all they want. That was a weird way of making a video or something. So he's taking a shot.
Thanks you all for
Yeah, I don't know.